Hey, thanks so much for being here. Welcome or welcome back. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to get started with hybrid planning. So if you're interested, I hope you stick around. If you've seen my latest video talking about the difference between hybrid planning and planner hopping, in my experience, I will link it below in case you happen to be interested on checking that out. But if you've seen it, we discuss, I guess, the effects of either planner hopping or hybrid planning and how it can change your habits and the routines that you have. It could be that either or it's a benefit for you. And I guess the point of that video was to kind of share my experience and see if that actually helped to find your method of preference. And I was discussing, I guess, my findings, which you might know by now that it's planner or hybrid planning instead of planner hopping. Planner hopping, in my case, it just really disrupts my planning systems and my habits and everything. But the hybrid planning does provide sort of like a sense of freedom in sense of having the flexibility of switching things around when I feel a little bit stuck or stagnant in just one book. Now, if you happen to be a planner enthusiast like me, you might feel the same. Usually for me is at the beginning of the year, like 3 months in the year, I feel like the urge of switching notebooks or planners, and maybe usually around mid-year and perhaps towards the end around November, December, I'm just ready to switch planners. So if that's something that you have experienced yourself, you might know what I'm coming from. I needed to find a way to satisfy, I guess, the urge of having a new book, but also not changing the system. I like to see my entire year in just one place. If you've seen my Hobonichi Weeks, this is the one that I have decided to use as my main planner this year, and it's really carrying everything. It has all my monthlies, appointments, weekly planning, and even memory keeping towards the back. And I also shared a video about how is it that I was planning on expanding, since we know that the Hobonichi Mega, not even the Mega, has daily pages. It doesn't cover the entire year. So in my case, I decided to use the booklets that you can find in a pack of 3. I got this one from Amazon. So anything that I mentioned in the video or that I use, I try to link below, or it's already linked in my Amazon favorites list. So just in case you happen to be shopping for something that I mentioned or show on any of my videos. But yeah, I am planning on expanding my dailies with using the little booklets, and that it's hopefully if I don't need too many, because if I do, then the archiving portion of my routine or my system, it's going to be a little bit tricky, because I do want to just have one book by the end of the year. And in this case, I guess it'll be anything that can fit in here. So it has to be able to fit in here to make it the one system that I'm going to be archiving. Now, there's a few simple steps that I take to make sure that this functions for me every single year. At least for the past 3 years, I have been consistent in this method or approach. The first thing that I do is just choose my main planner. So in this case, this year, I chose a Hobonichi Weeks Mega because I knew that I wanted to use it for everything, and I needed the extra pages in the back. I also like that I can flip it on itself. I know that not many, it's not recommended, but when I am towards the back, see here, we are about to be done with the daily pages. So when I'm here, it's kind of like a struggle to write towards the edges. So I like that I can flip it on its back because the cover itself is very, very given. So, and it doesn't really mess it up as much. I mean, it's pretty sturdy and very well made, so it has been holding just fine for when I do that. So once I choose my main mothership, sort of main planner, the one that will be holding my entire year, the one that I decided that I'm going to archive, then that's when I go and decide whether or not I want to have other planners near or available for me to reach for if I have the urge to planner hop. So I don't disrupt my planning system. I usually have some sort of ring system. So in this case, I'm using a pocket rings, and I decided to use it as my travel companion. So in here, I have my travel inserts, and I have some travel notes, shopping lists, grocery lists, even holds my receipts and stuff like that. So this has been like the fun sort of planner, not necessarily something that I want to archive, not all of it. And the ones that I do decide to archive, I will be choosing a method of archiving, whether that is a one of those recipe box where I can archive the inserts in this size, or I can just have a complete ring system a little bit bigger than this, so I can archive multiple years together. And again, that is if I decide to archive anything from there. That's usually just my to-go, on-the-go, very messy sort of lists of groceries and things like that, things that I don't necessarily need to archive. Then I have other planners that I reach out for every now and then, like this one. It's an Ibisu monthly planner, or half a year. I think it comes with the monthlies for 6 months, to cover 6 months of your year, a few weeks, and then the blank pages in the back. Then I decided to use this one for content. I don't necessarily plan on archiving this. What I'm thinking is that once I am done with the notes and just using it, I will decide to migrate any information from there to my commonplace, which is just an insert that I have been using in my traveler's notebook, and that one can last me for years. So I only put there stuff that I really want to archive. So basically, once I choose my main mothership planner, or my main one and only planner, then I go in and use whatever I have, or if I happen to find anything that is cute and I feel the urge to use it for the year, I'll get it and I'll use it for something else. Something that I don't necessarily, again, feel the pressure to archive together in one system. I learned this the hard way. I think in 2024, I used about 4, maybe 5 planners, and all of them had something important that I wanted to archive, and they were all different sizes. So I had a TN one and a TN size. I ended up with a personal rings planner. I had a Hobonichi cousin, a Hobonichi weeks, so you name it. I had all the different sizes, and I couldn't really convert it to just one. So I had to save at least 3 of those planners and archive them. And truly, it's just taking too much space. And then it has all my information spread out in different notebooks. So I don't necessarily know exactly which notebook has what. So that's when I decided that one and only it's the way to go as my main planner, and then just convert that approach into a hybrid sort of freedom system where I do know and have the flexibility to plan and write notes and do everything else in other planners, and I just keep one main one as my my yearly overview, the one that will hold pretty much all the information that it's important to me for the year. So definitely, if you want to get started with planner hopping, I will recommend that you have options. So you choose your main planner for the year, the one that you really love and that you either have tested before and it's a proven method, or that you really want to convert into this collection of memories for your entire year, and then have other options. Give yourself the flexibility of having multiple notebooks and planners that you know that are not necessarily the ones that you're going to archive. And once you go into the year with that mindset, it's just easier, usually easier. It does take some time. It's not like an overnight kind of thing. But once you practice it for a little bit, you start seeing your main planner grow. If you're like me, I love seeing my chunky planners and see them lift in. I don't necessarily like to keep them all pristine or anything. Of course clean, but they don't have to be perfect. You know, I like to see them like really lift in. And once you start seeing that, it just kind of clicks. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been sharing videos every single Sunday, and sometimes throughout the week I try to share additional topics that I happen to feel the need or feel spontaneous and I want to film them and share them with you. But usually I release videos every single Sunday, and we talk here about planning, consistency, giving yourself the freedom to be creative in your notebooks and just make them your own. So yeah, I hope that in some way this video is inspiring and it gives you, I guess, the idea on how to get started with hybrid planning. And let me know if that's something that you have already done or you are planning on doing anyways. If you do decide to do it, share your pictures and your videos with me, your systems. Tag me in social media. I am usually around Instagram, TikTok, or Pinterest. I like to kind of share my videos and sort of document visually my experience and my journey with my notebooks and share them with whoever wants to listen. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I hope that you have found the video entertaining, helpful, inspiring. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.